Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stoic Bux. Let's engage in a moment of honesty. Picture this. You're that person who's always available and eager to win their attention. You drop everything when they call, bend over backwards to make them happy, and practically throw your pride out the window to prove your worth. But the truth is that you're not coming across as attractive. You're coming across as desperate, needy, and constantly seeking approval. And let's face it, no one wants to date someone who looks like they're willing to give up everything for a little attention. Desperation doesn't inspire attraction, it repels it. It's a hard pill to swallow, but the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can stop the behavior that's pushing them away. Imagine being that person standing there, waiting for a text back, checking your phone every 5 minutes, thinking that maybe today is the day they'll finally choose. You finally realize you're the one. It's pathetic, isn't it? It's the kind of behavior that drives people away, not towards you, no one. And I mean no one is going to be drawn to a person who's always so eager to please, so desperate for validation. You're acting like your whole identity revolves around them, like you're nothing without their attention. Let me ask you straight, do you feel attracted to that? Do you want to spend your life with someone who's begging for your approval, constantly seeking validation, practically throwing themselves at your feet? You wouldn't choose that person, and they're not choosing you, because you're showing them that your own life doesn't matter. You've become nothing more than background noise that they can take for granted. That's the truth you've been trying to avoid. You've lost your power and are acting like you don't matter, which is exactly why they don't see you as someone worth choosing. You may be wondering why they aren't choosing you and why you're not their top priority. But the truth is, they don't value you because you've given them everything without requiring them to earn it. You've made yourself the least appealing choice, which is why they're looking elsewhere. It's not because you've become unappealing, but rather because you've become overly available, needy, and desperate. However, it's important to understand that this doesn't imply your unworthiness or lack of value. Rather, it simply indicates that you've been approaching the situation incorrectly and making it too simple for them to choose you. People don't value things they don't have to work for. If you want them to choose you, stop acting like you need them to complete you. Stop chasing them and begging them to notice you. Showing you don't need their approval is the real way to get chosen. That's where Stoicism comes in. In this video, we will discuss how to master yourself, becoming so strong and in control of your own life that others can't help but recognize your value. So hit the like button below this video. What Stoicism can do for you, and sign up to get more posts like this. Today is the day we stop playing games and start choosing who gets to choose us. Imagine that you're no longer the person begging for attention. You're the one who commands it. People naturally gravitate towards you due to your transformation, confidence, and self-assurance, eliminating the need for you to actively seek them out. It's not a dream. This is the power of Stoicism. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Stay with me until the end of this video, and you'll know how to make them choose you without ever having to beg. I want to challenge you right now. Are you ready to stop letting them control how you feel about yourself? Are you ready to take back your power? If you are prepared to reclaim your power, express it confidently and record it in the comments section. I am in charge of my own worth. This isn't for them anymore, it's for you. Without waiting for someone to choose you, you're writing your own story. Let them see that you're no longer desperate for their approval, because today is the day you claim your worth. Drop that compliment in the comments and accept the challenge to become their prey. These are robust, time-tested Stoic principles that will restore your sense of control. When you use them, you'll not only change the way your relationships work, but you'll also raise yourself up so that no one can deny your worth. Let's dive. We're ready to begin. Let's dive straight into these initial steps that will bring about change. Accept Stoic detachment. To be honest, your behavior around them is why they treat you the way they do and why you don't stand out. They aren't choosing you because you've been chasing them too much and acting as if their attention is the only thing that matters. The more you chase, the less you make yourself a priority. I am aware that you believe that by providing them with a small amount of love and attention, they will awaken and recognize your greatness. However, guess what? That's where Stoic detachment comes in. This isn't about being cold or shutting down your emotions. It's about controlling them and letting go of your desperate need for their approval. Ally from their response, you regain your power. People respect and gravitate towards self-reliant individuals rather than those who persistently seek attention. The Stoic philosopher Epicurus said it best. Wealth is not having many things but having few wants. Right now, let go of your desire for their approval and begin living your life without their approval. If you're trying to attract someone new, they're not going to choose you. If they sense you're constantly available and constantly seeking their attention, they'll keep looking for someone else. Someone who isn't flinging themselves at their feet is more likely to attract their attention. Detaching yourself from needing their approval makes you a mystery, and mystery is attractive. That's what gets them thinking about you, wondering why you're not chasing after them like everyone else. Now what if you're trying to attract someone who seems distant? This is even more important. They're distant because they know you're always there. They don't feel the need to close the gap because you've made it too easy. The moment you pull back, the moment you stop making them the center of your world, is the moment they start noticing you. You don't need to be aggressive. You need to be absent in a way that makes them curious. Here's a metaphor for you. Imagine a dog chasing after its tail. Round and round it goes, but it never catches it. That's you running in circles, chasing after their attention, and it's exhausting, and they're just watching you uninterested. But what happens if the dog stops chasing the tail and comes closer? They don't chase. People start to wonder why you're not chasing them anymore. When you stop chasing someone, they begin to notice that you're giving them an opportunity to take the next step. I know it's hard because you want to be chosen, but here's the thing. You'll only gain by taking a step back. Though uncomfortable, you'll want to text or do something to let them know you're there. But don't. Detaching is about respecting your time and showing them you're not dependent on them for attention. To do this, focus on your goals, your passions, and your well-being. When they witness this, I assure you, their perception of you will shift. You will no longer be perceived as just another option, but rather as a strong, independent individual worthy of their choice. You have control over your thoughts, not outside events. Realize this, and you will be strong. This is exactly what Stoic detachment is about. You can't change how they react, but you can change how you act. They will perceive you differently when you act with strength and release the need for approval. So close your eyes for a moment and repeat after me. I let go of the need for approval. Say it, feel it, and inhale the truth. You are the master of your own narrative. You don't require selection to be valuable. You already possess value. Now drop that affirmation in the comments. Let the universe know that from now on, you're no longer chasing validation. You're detached, powerful, and ready to let them see your worth, because once you detach, you become someone they want to choose. Number 2, raise your standards and stick to them. Let's discuss the reasons behind your lack of selection. It's not because you're not talented enough, it's because you've set the bar too low. You've been settling for less than the best and acting like that's okay. People treat you as a backup option rather than a priority when you do that. To be blunt, you need to raise your standards. How will they value you if you always accept less than you deserve? When you let people ignore you or flake on you, You're showing them how little you value yourself. If you don't value yourself, why should they choose you? If you allow them to treat you like a gem, even though you don't seem to value your own worth, then they won't. Raise your standards. If your standards are low, people will never feel the need to rise above them. But if you raise the bar and stop putting up with behavior that disrespects your time, energy, and self-respect, that's when things change. For example, if you're trying to attract a new partner and you're always going the extra mile to make them happy, you're telling them it's okay if they don't put me first. I'll still be here. But once you raise your standards, they will have to either step up or step out. Rest assured, the right people will step up at this point. If you want to convince someone who appears distant to choose you, you need to raise your standards even further. Their distance comes from knowing they don't have to do anything to keep you. If you haven't shown them why they should, why bother? Raising your standards forces them to either step up or fall behind. It's their choice. You need to give them that choice by showing them you won't settle for less. Here's the thing, raising your standards isn't just about them. It's about you. It's about deciding that you're worth more than half-hearted attention and mediocre effort. It's about knowing that your time, energy, and love are valuable, and you're not going to waste them on someone who isn't willing to match that effort. Self-respect, the foundation of respect standards, attracts individuals with a strong sense of self-worth. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine walking into a luxury store, let's say a place that sells rare diamonds. Do you see the staff offering discounts? Do you see them begging for customers to come in? No, they know their worth. They know the value of what they're offering, and they know that only those who recognize that value will make the effort to buy. You have to think of yourself the same way. You are that rare diamond. And if you're constantly on sale, if you're constantly giving discounts to people who don't deserve you, you'll never attract someone who truly values you. It's time to stop settling for the behavior that doesn't meet your standards. When they flake on you, don't chase after them. When they treat you like a backup plan, don't play along. You're not here to convince anyone of your worth. If they don't see it, then they don't deserve it. But the only way they'll start to see it is if you show them that you won't settle. You've got to understand something important here. When you raise your standards, it's going to get uncomfortable. You're going to feel like you're pushing people away. You're going to feel like you're making it harder for them to stay in your life. And that's exactly the point. You're filtering out the people who don't belong, and you're making space for the ones who are ready to step up. Not everyone will meet your new standards, and that's okay. The ones who do those are the ones worth keeping. And let me tell you something, you're not going to lose anything by raising your standards. You'll get respect, peace of mind, and people who want to be in your life because they see how valuable you are and are ready to meet you where you are. He said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This quote means how you let others treat you, not just their words or actions. If someone's actions or work don't match your standards, it's time to say no. Don't lower your standards to make someone else happy. Here's what I want you to do right now. Say to yourself, I deserve the best, and then close your eyes. When you say something, really mean it. Know in your heart that you're worth more than you've been letting yourself believe. Starting today, you're going to set higher standards and make them work for being in your life. Don't say that in the comments, I deserve the best. Show the world you're not settling and raising your standards. From now on, you are living up to your true worth. Observe how their perception of you begins to shift. This is because when you establish and maintain high standards, they will be compelled to meet them. Third, establish genuine emotional connections with individuals. Okay, everyone, let's discuss a topic that truly matters. Developing genuine emotional connections transcends mere attraction. If you want them to choose you over everyone else, it's not enough to just be attractive or say the right things. Making them feel something real requires a deeper connection. The feeling of love fades, but emotional connection is what keeps someone hooked. If you're not tapping into that emotional space, they'll always feel like something's missing. Now let's be honest for a second. Are you building connections with people, or are you just playing a game of trying to get them to like you? Because there's a difference. You can spend all your energy trying to impress them, trying to be who you think they want you to be, and still fall short. Why? Because you're not being real. You're not allowing a genuine connection to form. You're focused on their approval, not on truly getting to know them or letting them get to know you. If you're trying to attract someone new, especially if they're used to people falling all over them, you have to stand out by being authentic. People are tired of fake. They're tired of everyone saying the same things, doing the same things, and pretending to be someone they're not. The minute you drop the act and show them who you really are, the minute you make them feel seen and understood, you become irreplaceable. And I don't mean you spill your life story in the first 5 minutes. I mean you listen, you engage, and you open up at the right time, showing them that there's more to you than what's on the surface. If you're trying to win back someone who seems distant, the same rules apply. They've probably distanced themselves because something about your connection doesn't feel genuine to them anymore. Because you may have been too focused on keeping them interested instead of building the connection. As you try to win them over, people can tell you've stopped being yourself. Be real. Honestly, who would want to be with someone who constantly feels like they're putting on a show? This is where Marcus Aurelius's Stoic wisdom comes in. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. What does that mean for making real emotional connections? It means being honest with yourself first. Stop pretending to be someone you're not in order to please others. Be strict with yourself about keeping true to yourself. Accept that other people might not always get or respect it. But trust me, those who truly understand and appreciate you will always choose you. Let me paint you a picture. You're walking through the forest and see 2 trees. One is tall and has bright green leaves, and the other is shorter and has fewer leaves. At first glance, the first tree appears impressive, yet it conceals more complexity. Tall trees have weak roots, so a strong wind gust could knock them over. Small trees, on the other hand, have strong roots that hold them up. Dig deep into the ground. It's strong and resilient. Which tree would you choose to shelter you during a storm? That's the difference between an emotional bond and superficial attraction. Is it possible to make real bonds with people? The first one looks good, but it's not deep. The second one, on the other hand, has depth and is solid. That's what people need, someone they can lean on when things get tough. Real listening is the first step. Stop thinking about what to say or how to impress and listen. People want to be heard. When you listen to them, you make them feel important and understood. When they sense your understanding, they begin to reveal themselves and lower their defenses. That's when the real connection starts to form. Next, you need to be vulnerable. I know that sounds scary, but it's the basis of any deep connection. That doesn't mean you have to tell them all of your deepest secrets right away. But you should let them see the real you by sharing your feelings, thoughts, experiences, fears, and dreams. When you let someone into your emotional world, they can connect with you on a deeper level, and that's when the magic happens. They start to see you as someone. You've established a genuine connection that they can't replace. I know some of you might be thinking, what if they don't reciprocate? What if I put myself out there and they don't respond the way I want? Here's the truth. You can't control how someone else feels, but what you can control is how you show up in the relationship. If they don't respond to your genuine connection, then they're not the right person for you. But most people will respond. Most people are craving authenticity. They just don't know how to ask for it. When you give them that, you stand out. You become someone they don't want to lose. As Epicurus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you want to be someone who builds real, lasting connections, then start acting like it. Be the person who listens, who engages, who shows up authentically. And if it feels difficult, if you're not used to opening up or being vulnerable, start small. Share little things about yourself. Pay attention to how they respond and build from there. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Here's your affirmation. I create real connections. Say, declare your belief. Write it down in the comments and declare to the world that you've had enough of small talk. You're here for the real thing, to make connections that matter, connections that last. Post that affirmation in the comments. I make real connections, and let the world know that you're becoming a more complete person. When you make real emotional connections, you become someone they want to choose, not just consider. Keep your freedom and respect for yourself. Now that we've talked about emotionally separating yourself and making real connections, let's talk about something that's absolutely necessary if you want them to choose you over anyone else: maintaining your independence and self-respect. Losing these two elements diminishes your attractiveness, value, and deservingness of selection. No one wants a partner who's lost their identity. If your happiness, sense of worth, and self-esteem are entirely dependent on how this one person feels about you, you've forfeited your independence and exchanged your self-respect for fleeting moments of validation. I know it's harsh, but it's the truth, and I promise they'll get it. You stand out because you're someone who doesn't need constant attention, praise, or validation to feel whole. When you keep your independence, you show them that your world doesn't revolve around them, and that you're not waiting for them to do everything. Trust me, they'll notice. That's what makes them unique. If you're trying to attract someone new, they won't choose you if they can tell you have nothing else going on in your life. It's not attractive. Think about it. Would you choose someone who drops everything to give you a little attention? Someone who's always available and waiting? You're more likely to choose independence. Someone who is on their own path is independent. Independence means having a person who isn't just living in your life, but thriving in their own. If your partner isn't close, maintaining your independence is even more crucial. If you let them control your life and lose parts of yourself, they'll take you for granted because you'll always be there. If you keep your own life and don't stop growing because you're in a relationship, they'll respect you more because they know they need to match your energy to keep you. Let's break this down even more. Being independent doesn't mean keeping people out or putting up walls around yourself to keep them out. It means knowing that you are valuable. It means continuing to work towards your own goals, regardless of what others may think of you. Maintaining your independence tells them that you're whole on your own, and you don't need them to make you feel whole. This includes your dreams and interests, with or without them. Another aspect of self-respect is that you must demonstrate your respect to others through your actions. If you don't respect yourself, why should anyone else? Also, showing respect for yourself starts with how you let other people treat you. If you let them treat you like an option, you're telling them that your standards are low. If you set low standards, people will never feel the need to raise them. For example, if you pay a lot of money for a fancy meal at a restaurant and the waiter brings you something half-baked, barely seasoned, and sloppily put together, would you eat it or send it back, knowing that your money is worth more than that? Your self-respect works the same way. If you take less than what you deserve, you're allowing them to treat you badly. Self-respect means you won't accept less than your worth. Self-respect doesn't mean being cocky or demanding. It means knowing what you're worth and not settling for anything that doesn't match that worth. Respecting yourself naturally instills respect in others. If they want to be with you, they'll realize they must respect you as you respect yourself. But what if this feels hard? What if you've already lost yourself in the relationship or are afraid that if you show your independence, they'll pull away? The truth is, you may initially feel as though you're balancing the need to remain true to yourself and maintain their interest, but the more you cling, the more they'll retreat. Demonstrating your independence increases your attractiveness as people gravitate towards individuals with strength. Marcus Aurelius said that the quality of your thoughts determines the happiness of your life. This is especially true when it comes to how you see yourself in relationships. You'll always feel incomplete if you believe that someone else is necessary to complete you. However, knowing your inherent value and wholeness will radiate confidence and independence, which attracts people. So how do you bring this into your life? Start by focusing on yourself and getting back in touch with your own goals, likes and dislikes. Invest your time in activities that bring you joy, even if they are unrelated to them. Clear the way. Don't let them treat your time or energy badly, and most importantly, don't give up parts of yourself to keep them around. You deserve better. I'm whole by myself. Say it, believe it, and write it down in the notes. Close your eyes for a moment and let it sink in. You are enough. You don't need their approval to feel valuable or important. You are whole, strong, and capable all on your own. Let the universe know that you've reclaimed your independence and self-respect. Comment, "I am whole on my own," to let them know that you're no longer chasing, bending, or losing yourself. You're stepping into your power, and from now on, if they want to be a part of your life, they'll have to meet your standards. Talk to people clearly and make your wants known. Just remember, no one can read your mind. You'll be disappointed if you expect someone to magically understand your needs without you having to express them. If you want them to see you and choose you over others, you must communicate what you want, expect, and need. Here's the thing. When you don't communicate, when you hold back, you're only making yourself more frustrated. Becoming quiet or laid back may make you more likable, but it will only make people ignore your needs. People respect people who are brave enough to say what they need and set clear limits. Meet someone new without waiting for them to notice what you need. Being clear about your goals is enough. Don't be mean or demanding. People gravitate towards individuals who articulate their desires without fear. If you're already in a relationship and the other person seems distant, it's even more important to say it. Don't let that anger build up until it's impossible to fix. Being honest about your needs doesn't turn people off. Instead, it encourages them to meet you where you are. They can't meet your needs if they don't know what they are. Communicating effectively requires saying what you need and listening to others. When both people feel heard and respected, the connection grows stronger, which is what makes them choose you. What Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't argue about what a decent man should be like. Become one." Also, don't waste time thinking they know what you need. Be clear, be open and honest. Say this affirmation with confidence. I speak my truth with confidence. Then write it down in the comments to let them know that you're no longer going to be quiet. You will assert your voice, demonstrate your deservingness of attention, and showcase your personal development. Okay, let's get one thing straight. If you want someone to choose you over others, they need to see that you're constantly changing and growing. Your boring, predictable stagnation won't attract anyone. On the other hand, growth is exciting, magnetic, and makes you irresistible. Showing off your growth makes you someone they want to see. It's not real growth to brag about how much better you are all the time. It's about subtly letting them see that you're always becoming a better version of yourself. You're growing emotionally, mentally, and physically, which makes you stand out. If you're trying to attract someone new, Showing that you're working on yourself is a game. Share. It shows you want to improve and are willing to work hard. That kind of energy is contagious, and people want to be around people who make them feel better. It's not about being perfect. It's about always trying to be better. Allow them to witness your efforts to improve your mindset, acquire new skills, or establish new objectives. This conveys a powerful message. I'm growing, and if you want to join me on this journey, you too must grow now. If you're already in a relationship and things have become stagnant or distant, this is where showcasing your growth becomes even more important. Maybe they've gotten too comfortable. Maybe they're taking you for granted because they think you're just the same person you've always been. But once you start focusing on your personal growth, whether that's emotional maturity, career advancement, fitness goals, or even a new hobby, they'll take notice. They'll see that you're not someone who's content to stay stuck, and that kind of upward momentum will make them realize they either need to level up or risk losing you. But let's get real, growth isn't always easy. It takes effort, discipline, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. You might struggle at times, and that's okay. The key is to keep pushing forward, even when it's tough. Growth isn't about the destination. It's about the process of becoming better day by day. It's not always about making giant leaps. Sometimes it's about those small, consistent steps that add up over time. And don't worry if you think they're not noticing right away. Believe me, they are. Growth doesn't have to be loud to be effective. People pick up on the energy of someone who's committed to bettering themselves when they see that you're not stuck in the same old patterns and that you're focused on leveling up. It plants a seed in their mind. This person is going places. And trust me, as Seneca so wisely put it, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your growth is the start of something new, and each step forward makes you more valuable in their eyes. But this growth isn't for them, it's for you. You're showing them and yourself that you're always changing, which makes you unique. I get bigger. Declare it aloud, embrace it, and record it in the comments section. Let them know that you're not staying the same, that you're leveling up, and that if they want to be in your life, they need to keep up with the person you're becoming. Then, stop saying that statement. Every day, as I grow stronger, I can see how their perception of you changes. When you show them how much you've grown, they understand that you're someone they can't afford to lose. Avoid making common mistakes that turn them off. Let's face it, often the mistakes you make that turn them off are the primary reason they don't choose you. If you're doing something wrong, they may find you less attractive than if you're missing something. If you keep falling into these traps, you'll keep turning them off without even realizing it. Desperation is a killer. Excessive texting or excessive effort to attract attention merely reveals your insecurity. People are interested in confidence and independence, not neediness. Stop following them. The more you do it, the more they'll run away. Third, don't try to explain away everything you do because you care too much about what they think. Instead, be firm in your decisions and let your actions speak for themselves. Fourth, giving up your independence goals or friends for them will only make you look less attractive. They'll start taking you for granted, and you'll lose the spark that made you attractive in the first place. Lastly, people can discern when you engage in games or exhibit excessive manipulation, whether it's through jealousy or inconsistent behavior. It's not beautiful, and it's tiring. Be real and epic. Titus said that nothing great happens overnight. If you continue to distance yourself from them by making these mistakes, your relationship with them won't grow. Declare your resolve to stop self-sabotage and shift your focus towards attracting people rather than pushing them away. Now that you know these powerful Stoic techniques that will make them choose you, it's time to act. Remember that you're no longer chasing, settling, or making the mistakes that push them away. You're stepping into your power and showing them what they'll lose if they don't step up. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe to more videos, and share it with someone who needs to hear these life-changing steps. Let the world know you're ready to be the one they want to choose by leaving your "I control my value" affirmations below.